Okay. Where were we? ATIS.
I don't know why we're not picking it up. We're on COM 2. Volume's good. What time is it? Oh, it's 1:56.
Oh,
they're recording a new one right now.
Okay. So altimeter will need the ATIS to set that. Transponder alt squawk flight to ID. Alt squawk is set.
Hey, just make sure it says 1200 and altitude.
And I like to get it ready for the timer.
Okay.
For later. ADSB is built into the transponder on every plane I've been on.
Information Alpha.
There it is.
153 Zulu. Wind 2005. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 19 2.08. Altimeter 3005. ILS range to 8 right in use. Landing in departing range to 8 left, range to 8 right. NOTAMs, departing runway 28 right, tower frequency 125.7. Departing runway 28 left, tower frequency 119.2. Runway alignment indicator lights unusable. Cranes in the vicinity of Montgomery. Hazardous weather available on flight, service station frequencies. Advise on initial contact, you have information Alpha.
Cool.
COM 1. Oops. And turn off the COM 2. There you
Usually
go.
I just push the bottom button, right, and that does it all.
Yeah, it does it all if you press the bottom.
Mess that up. Okay, so let's go back to the altimeter. Start with this one. It was 3005. Oh, right in the middle there. Looks like we're about 420 feet. I'll match the G5 to that.
Good, I'm glad your instructor's having you sync them. Because on the check ride, you don't want the examiner judging you off of this when you're flying off of this.
Right.
Or vice versa. So you always want to sync them.
Right. Yeah, I actually didn't realize that's why. I was just kind of forming the habit of doing that. That's interesting, though. Where was I? Altimeter set, transponder, alt squawk, ADS check, radio test, taxi light, turn that on. Okay, and then I think oh, this guy's gonna stop right there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I guess we're not going anywhere.
Yep, not going anywhere. Now, if I were him, I would have pulled just clear so that we could pull out, and then I would push in.
So we could use this opportunity to dial in some radio frequencies and
Sure.
set up our GPS.
Yeah,
maybe?
let's do that.
So actually, I had them written down on my other sheet. Find it.
Gotta hold the brakes to make sure we don't roll.
Yep, I'm holding it. All right, so I meant to write this down before lesson here. So it's 126.9 for when we come back. Ground is 108.2. I know I'm supposed to have these memorized. I'm working on that. Going to be either 1.119.2 for left or 5.7 for right. That's like, I know it was like 10 to 6 or something.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was Monday through Friday or not, but apparently it's every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some days they say they're like short-staffed and they just say it's 119.2 for every runway, but
yeah,
it's not mentioned on the ATIS.
Okay. Air to air is 122.75. Ramona, ATIS, 132.025. Hours 119.875. 121.65 ground. Okay, I think that's all the frequencies we need. No problem. All right, I'll test my brakes, my controls.
Okay.
Clear left, clear right. Whoa. And do you want to text?
Okay,
test
my
your brakes?
controls.
Your controls.
I'll just turn us right.
And I should call ground before we do this.
You can do it either way. It's fine.
Before we get onto the main.
Yeah, we can't. There's a line down the way there. That's when you have to call them by.
Okay.
But it's more appropriate, before you get on Juliet to call, so we can call them here.
That makes sense. They put this stuff away because don't need it.
Your controls, your brakes.
My controls, my brakes. Okay. Ground 118.
Sorry. Yeah.
No worries. 11. Oh, you got it already.
30 there.
Okay. Volume good. Yeah.
Montgomery ground, Cessna 3386 Echo, executive, eastbound with Alpha.
Clear right.
Clear right. Go.
Maybe took that
Oh
here.
yeah, forgot about that. Oops. I'll actually stick here so it's better view, field of view. Okay,
All right, clear.
wing's coming. Oh yeah, when I'm turning, I'm gonna check my instruments. I can remember what I'm looking for.
Yep.
So this is,
These two.
okay, that's into the turn, ball going to the outside. This is spinning free and clear, that's spinning free and clear. Less than 5 degrees of
Yep.
bank, right? That's what I'm looking for. Yep.
We will like to replace flight ball wing to long speed.
Mostly an IFR check, but it's a good habit to build if you one day want to be an IFR pilot.
Okay.
500. Verify the call sign is 198 Tango Hotel. Affirmative, 8 Tango Hotel. And 198 Tango Hotel, runway 28 left, taxi to Hotel Bravo.
Gonna turn them down a hair.
3 Hotel Bravo, 8 Tango Hotel. Runway ground check, 260.
So they give us the runway 28 right for eastbound departure. That way, they never let anyone do a left downwind departure. It's always right downwind departure.
Right.
So 28 right gets you kind of
Out of the way of
it doesn't have you crossing traffic on the departure.
198 Tango Hotel, squawk 0257. Departure 6119.6.
Yeah, I've definitely taken off on both runways, but I've never landed on 28 right, I don't think,
Oh, really?
so far. It's kind of just interesting. Like, no matter which direction we come from.
3004.
If you come in from the east, they kind of give you the runway according to what frequency you chose to call them on. So if you call them on 25.7 coming from the east, they'll pretty much assign you to it, right?
That makes sense.
Sometimes I've had them switch me, but most of the time, if you call them with that frequency, that's what they give you.
Okay.
And you, as pilot in command, always have the option to tell them that you want it. Like if let's say there's a crosswind picks up on your solo cross country, right? Like an unexpected crosswind, and they assign you 28 left. You're the pilot in command. Tell them I need 28 right to have a little extra cushion room for to deal with the crosswind.
I have a quiet day out here today. Is it more busy during the week usually?
No, weekends get pretty busy.
Okay. Let's double check our taxi items. Yep, taxi light on, brakes test. We did that. Attitude. We checked that. We checked the turn coordinator. We checked. Heading indicator compass happens automatically with 5, right?
Yep.
That's non-issue. Run up brake set, fuel set to both. Trim set for takeoff, right about there. Flight controls.
Free and
correct. Yep.
Yep.
Check.
It's easy to have. What I see too, once you get your license and you have passengers, this is what passengers do. They put their feet like this, and now that they're jamming your controls.
Oh, okay.
So you have to tell your passengers to scoot your feet forward.
Okay. Don't block those, but don't block these either.
Yeah.
Find a happy medium. Makes sense. Okay, instruments. Best mixture, best power. Primer in and lock. We'll go up to 1700. Cool. Right about there, right about there. I'll do right, look for the drop. Lost about 130. Is that too much? Back to both. 125 is the max we're looking for, right?
It's right. It's close enough.
About
It's
there.
right there. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do left.
That one's worse.
110,
Or no,
120.
No, it's fine.
So, and less than 50 difference between the two.
Yep.
That's what we're looking for, so checks out. Carb heat, looking for a slight power drop. There it is. Checks out. So weird that it just pops back out. Vacuum in the green, hopefully.
There's no vacuum on this airplane because they replaced the vacuum gauges.
Okay, so non-issue. Where am I? Amps and volts, looking for 28. Isn't there one that's...
You can flip the switch to amps if you want to see amps.
Okay.
You've also got amps and volts over here, same thing.
Okay, and then I've been told that you can flick the flaps just to see if you get a change.
Yeah, you could. Just making sure that it's like close to 28 and a positive amperage.
Okay. Check oil pressure and oil temperature, both in the... Yep. Check. Now we'll smoothly go to idle. Throttle friction's the way I like it. Run up checklist complete.
Put the carb heat on too. That'll really load the engine up. Now it doesn't die. Okay, now you can turn the carburetor heat off and bring us up to 900 RPM. Around there. That's good.
Okay. Cool. Pre-takeoff briefing. All right, I'll give it a shot. So we're going to go for eastbound departures. We'll make right traffic, assuming that's what they tell us. We'll climb to 3,500 and head for Crow's Mountain. So I should probably get that set up in here.
Sure.
I'll go to, not map, where do I do that? Flight plan. At waypoints, I'll say visual point, San Diego, Cowles Mountain. Enter. And I'll...
Go ahead.
Make it so it appears you have the baggage door open.
Ooh.
Okay, I think that we'll hop out, close it.
Let me get out.
Okay.
Hold the brakes tight.
Don't let us roll.
Yeah, will do.
Very common for baggage doors to open on these.
Okay.
Here, 699 Yankee 2, set go 400 taxi code.
699 Yankee Zulu, number ground, taxi to Hotel Golf.
Hotel Golf to code center Yankee Zulu. Somebody ground there, you're going to return these off at 23 Hotel for taxi.
Zero, number control on the ground, scheduled to drop to direction cleared, then taxi to the hotel.
Yeah, when you see it, then taxi to the hotel.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. 172 baggage doors are notorious, so you always got to kind of fit your fingernails in there and give it a little pull and make sure it's actually locked.
Okay. I think I just completely didn't even try to close it. That's my bad.
Yeah, not the first time it's happened to me.
Okay. Interesting that some of it's white on our little flight path here. Is that...
That means we haven't gotten to that leg yet. The purple is our active leg.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So give about... Not much. Okay. So yeah, the briefing will climb to 3,500. If I get there around Gillespie, I think, or somewhere before that, maybe.
All that matters is that we cleared the class Delta.
Yeah,
and then we get to 3,500 when we get there.
Right. Okay. So 2,400 is what we care about. Then we'll head towards Cowles Mountain, and then we'll head towards Lake Jennings, and we'll turn northbound, and we'll make a couple of calls. So I'll get my frequencies set up. So we're on 28 right, so 1257, and then we'll talk to air 122.75.
It's a really short flight, so we might not even need that. I would just go ahead and load Ramona Tower, and then you have just enough time to pick up Ramona Atis and then switch over to Ramona Tower.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we've been practicing just doing like 3 or 4 air-to-air calls.
Yeah, that's fine. You'll only be on 2275 for like less than 1 minute, and then you got to switch to Ramona.
So let's go ahead and load ATIS 132.025. I thought just go 02. Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally optional to do that. I tend to teach that keep COM 1 your communications and COM 2 your ATIS.
Oh, okay.
But there's more than one right way to skin a cat. Did he have any philosophy on that, or does he?
No, so far we've just been like, if I just go down the list, like my first frequency I need, second one, third one, fourth one.
Okay. Well, here, I got it loaded right here, so. And then we can put Ramona Tower up here, so.
Okay, sure.
119.87.
Kind of like that, yeah. 119.87, all right. Okay, we're set there. So we're ahead of the airplane, at least radio-wise. Anything else for briefing?
How about the emergency briefing? Has he taught you that one yet?
For the abort plan?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's yeah, at the end. So yeah, I'll just take care of that. So what we do is if we have an engine problem, or if I'm not above 2280 or 2380, forget. It says here somewhere. 20.
Your static RPM.
Or just the RPM I'm going for on takeoff, or else I know I have a problem. I thought it said so in here.
Yeah, I think it does say on there. Can't remember though.
I think it's 20 on this side.
It's around that range, like you said. So yeah,
22,
there it is.
There it is on the takeoff checklist. Yep. So okay, so if I'm not getting to 2280, or if I'm having engine problems and there's runway remaining, I'll cut power and just stay on the runway. If there's no runway remaining, I'm under 500 feet, I'll turn up to 30 degrees either direction, and it'll probably be Balboa Avenue. If I'm above 500, I can turn up to 90 degrees and have more options maybe. If I'm 1,000 feet, or if I'm in the traffic pattern, if I've turned crosswind, I'll try to make it back to the airport.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What I tell my students is instead of the 500 then 1,000, I just say 1,000 feet. That under 1,000 feet, 30 degrees, 1,000 feet, turn back to the airport. However, that's what the examiners like to hear, but every airplane's different on what it's capable of doing for the turn back to the airport.
Right.
Like a Bonanza needs more than 1,000 feet to come back, but a 172, I've done it at like 300 feet. So my number is 500 in a real life, like me and you are flying today.
Yeah.
500 is our turnaround.
Okay.
And it's a steep bank. It's like a 45-degree bank back to the runway.
Okay.
I also like to include which way the wind's coming from. So like if the wind's coming from the left, my turn back to the airport is going to be to the left into the wind, because it reduces my turning radius.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I can't see the wind, but I think it's off the left. Yeah, I think I can see the windsock down there.
That's 200, 200, so that means, what does that mean? Where's 200?
Yeah, coming from the...
200 is where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it's coming from our left, so it'll be a left turn back to the runway.
Okay.
On the check ride, you say 1,000. You say 1,000 feet because you don't want to get in an argument with what's possible on the check ride.
All right.
But in real life, this airplane can do below 500 feet turn back and make the runway.
Okay. All right, if that happens, it'll be your controls, and you'll save us. Okay. Let's see here. We made it through all this. Let's make sure I do this. Flaps up for normal takeoff. We're not going to do a short field thing or anything. I'll lean this out.
No, best power is under 3,000 feet density altitude, full rich.
Right, but I guess what we've been doing is, like, after the run up, I lean it back out so we don't clog up the thing. And for lights, camera, action.
Okay, fine. That's fine.
Yeah, make it more full rich. Carb heat off. Transponder is where we want it. Heading bug, I'll set it to 284. We've been doing 283 if it's left.
Yeah,
284 if
that's
right.
Exactly what I do.
I'll set an altimeter bug.
Yeah, you
might
can
as
do
well.
3,500.
Yep.
Temporary velocity fastest holding in position, cross runway to left and contact ground.
Good left, thanks a lot.
Okay. Doors and windows.
Mine's closed.
Latched.
28 right for right downwind.
Right, closed and latched.
Stand by, landing copy.
Strobes will be part of lights, camera, action. Time will be the action. And we're ready to go. So I'll call tower.
Continue down.
Okay.
We'll be holding in position.
They just called for taxi, so what you can say, give the call and say we're ready to go 28 right for right downwind departure in sequence. In sequence means I know I'm not number one.
Okay.
Tower call base traffic holding in position. Continuing downwind 6 Alpha.
Montgomery Tower, Cessna 3386 Echo, holding short, 28 right for eastbound departure in sequence.
002, right, runway 28 right.
Wait, she's talking to them.
Runway 28 right, 002 flight.
This means the second Montgomery Tower request standby number 2 for departure.
Yeah, don't need to reply because it's a standby instruction.
They doing?
They're it's a flight of two. They're formation flying.
Wow, I've never seen that. Putting on a little air show for us.
You can look at Mike Cross and make it look in contact then.
That's a Mike Cross, that's what it's at.
Now that we're number one and no one's coming, we could scoot up if you'd like.
Might as well.
Take in direction of departure.
Good right downwind.
002 flight, right down and approved, runway straight right, take takeoff.
Pretty good straight right, sub 002 flight.
Cessna 86 Echo, runway straight right, line up and right, traffic in the downwind.
Line up the way, straight right, 86 Echo.
6 Charlie.
Clear right.
6 Charlie off the base approved.
Oh man, turn. Okay, there we go.
And tower for sub 002 flight, you're like an early right.
Get your mixture, your lights, camera.
Oh, yeah, lights, camera,
Cessna 86
action.
approved, runway straight right, take takeoff.
Right downwind, clear takeoff to right, 86 Echo.
6 Charlie, runway straight right, take
All right, good to go. Wind's off the left side.
And a little crosswind correction.
You just need like this much in.
Okay.
And then that aileron comes out as you reach rotation speed.
So, gauge is green. Airspeed is alive.
Less aileron now.
Aileron. There's 50. We'll rotate at 55. There it is.
There it is. Pull back.
Ooh.
There you go.
One more right foot. I'll pitch for 73.
Yeah, so it was a light crosswind. You just go like 45-degree angle, and then by the time you're rotation, you only have a tiny bit of aileron left in. By the time you get rotation speed.
Gotcha. Okay. A little left of my heading bug.
Yeah, purple diamond on the heading bug.
Yeah. So I'm looking to make my right turn at probably like 1,000 feet or 1,100.
When we get to 900 feet, which is 500 feet AGL, then we can go.
Okay.
I don't see anybody coming.
Look right, clear right.
Clear right.
Turn right.
A little steeper bank because we have a tight pattern on the north side of the airfield here. We don't want to cross Highway 52.
Okay.
Then we're going to wings level to lift our wing up and check that it's clear. Clear and roll into the right.
Okay. I'm going a little fast. I'll pitch up for 73.
Sub 002 flight, good day.
Good day.
Turn them up a little.
Perfect. Got Cowles Mountain in sight. That's where
That wind's not helping us either, so today the wind's pushing us towards the
class
Bravo.
Bravo. Okay, so let's make sure I'm staying well clear of 52. Highway 52.
Yeah, sometimes I'll go right up next to Highway 52 and just don't cross it.
Alright. So there's Cowles Mountain. We're about 1,000 feet AGL, so I'll do my climb checklist.
Okay.
So my speed's good, power's full, mixture's full. Instruments, what am I checking for my instruments? Gauge is green.
Yeah, green.
Lights off, I can turn my taxi and landing light off. My strobe on. That's it, climb checklist complete. Up a little right of Cowles Mountain. I'll correct that.
And this airplane too, you've got CHTs and EGTs as well. You can look
Right.
make sure
all my cylinders are the right temperature.
Montgomery Tower, Spearman 65845, 28 right, close traffic.
Okay, I'm
5845.
1,800 climbing, 3,500.
Right traffic, currently 2 right, clear for takeoff. 28 right.
Right. I'm going to zoom in to make this more useful. Zooming in gives me a better idea of what the most dangerous traffic targets are and where the airspace boundaries are.
Cool.
So when you're zoomed out like this, it's kind of hard to glean anything useful off.
Yeah,
of it.
I wasn't sure how far to pinch out, so yeah, that's good to know.
I'll make every flight. I'll make a little adjust. I'll look at it and just decide on the fly what adjustment makes sense.
Gotcha. And I'll pitch up a little bit more for 73. 2,200, climbing 3,500.
And we're at a safe altitude now, and I'm not worried about hitting the Class D over there because we're only 100 feet away from being above it, and it's way over there.
Yep.
So now you can transition to a cruise climb, which is about 85 knots.
Okay.
Straight
right.
The benefits of a cruise climb is you have better visibility over the nose to look for traffic.
Okay.
You're getting to your destination faster, and you're providing better engine cooling because you're getting more airflow.
Okay.
Right there.
What about like I was taught what was it like the cruising altitude? I guess rule of thumb is to be an odd number plus 500 feet if you're going eastbound.
Yeah.
So I guess like just balancing the priorities between like seeing what better and like those benefits you just mentioned and being at like that altitude quicker. I guess today's not a light traffic day, so maybe it's not a big deal.
No, you can climb at whatever rate you want. It's just the cruising altitude has to be 3,500.
Okay. Gotcha.
There's no rule about how quickly you have to get up to that.
Okay.
Up to that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if you're below 3,000 feet AGL, the rule says you could fly whatever altitude you want.
Okay.
So this elevation here is like 500 feet AGL, so we're just at the cusp of 3,000 feet AGL. So you can kind of fly whatever you want.
I'll go ahead and lean my mixture at 3,000. About a knuckles worth.
If you ever have an EGT gauge, every airplane's different, but on the 172 models, it's around the high 1300s to 1400s EGT.
Should I make it more rich?
A little more rich. Yeah. I tend to in flight only use the twisting action,
okay.
so that way you don't accidentally go too far back.
Okay.
We got an airplane 600 feet above us, so he's cruising basically. He's at 3,800, and he's going the same direction as us. He's going with us, so
Don't see him.
oh, I don't either, but he is. Let's see.
Jermaine 45, continue down on tropical, hold in position on target base.
Hey, 45.
Nice smooth day today.
Yeah.
Pretty choppy the last couple of times I did this.
Yeah, good weather today.
So there's 3,500. Oh, I overshot it a little bit.
Right down.
The wait, and 6 o'clock with you.
All right, thinking ahead of the airplane, what else can we do to get ahead of an airplane?
Pick up the ATIS for Ramona, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just level off real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
I pitch first, but I'm trying to also lose 100 feet because I went too high. I'll take some power out.
Yeah, pass outside the Cherokee on the upwind though.
Always
I'm
take
still climbing.
Departure approved.
always take a guess on what the pitch angle should be, and then come evaluate if you're getting the performance you need.
Okay.
Approved, chapter rolling, runway. 105.
Right, 845.
We can cruise a little higher power setting too, like give it another 100 RPM.
Okay. I was just trying to get down to 3,500.
Well, there's two ways to get down. You can either reduce power, or you could pitch down.
Okay.
Or a combo of the two. So you could increase power and then just pitch down.
Power now, that's pretty close to 30,500.
Yeah, give it a little more power because we're only at like 89 here. Like bring it up to 2,400 at least.
Okay. Right about that.
We're just going to extend up.
I'll pitch down and trim for level.
Charlie Alpha, Roger. This is 6 Alpha, continue on the upwind. Cherokee ahead there, will pass behind the banner, so ahead there to your right.
Pretty level.
What's the next things coming up here?
Oh, next what?
What are the next 2 or 3 things we got to think about here coming for our route?
Turning towards Lake Jennings.
We can go ahead and do that now.
Okay. And grabbing the ATIS for Mona.
Mona, so go ahead and hit COM 2.
Temperature 21, dew point 5, altimeter 5. Visual approaching use, landing at departing runway 27.
27.
For carrying bird activity in the vicinity of the airport.
Nose down here.
Further information within the stuff area available from flight service. Advise initial contact you have in November. November 2153 Zulu observation. Wind. Enter. Visibility 10. Feeling 6,000 unbroken. Temperature 21, dew point 5, altimeter 3005. Visual approaching use, landing at
Nose down a bit.
Yep.
use caution for carrying bird activity in the vicinity of the airport. Has further information within the stuff area available from flight service. Advise initial contact you have in November.
Back to COM 1.
Switch to
Flip flop.
So usually I call around Verona Casino a little bit before then?
Yeah, that's about where I call, yeah. The FAA says at least 10 miles out. However, in San Diego, it's so busy. I've had controllers tell me they don't mind us calling 20 miles out.
Okay.
But with Ramona, it seems like every time I've tried that, they usually tell me call back when you're at Verona.
Okay.
So, but for Montgomery, I call them 20 miles out. They always take me. But Ramona, they don't take me until like Verona.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Yeah, good to know. Yeah, I bet if you're out in the boonies somewhere and the tower's more bored, they're like, yeah, call me up 20 miles out, sure.
yeah,
Like, I keep climbing.
it also, yeah,
Like 3,700.
yeah, just set a slight pitch down, and you're already descending a little bit, so just hold that sight picture, and we'll eventually get back down to 35.
Okay.
That traffic's still way out there going the same direction, 200 above us, but shouldn't be a factor. He's like past the mountain over there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there he is, right there, to the left of the mountain, above by the clouds. You look at the clouds. It's those two Pipers that took off in front of us.
Okay, I assume those are like F-18s or something.
No, it's the two Pipers that took off right in front of us.
Interesting, that's cool. Alright. Almost at Lake Jennings. Start to turn north pretty soon. I'm still trying to get down to 30,500. Windscreen looks a little dirty, huh? Clean it out. There's about 3,500. A little bit more.
You can go now.
Start making my
Cut
left
around the
turn.
corner a little bit. We're plenty clear of the Bravo. Like we'll be underneath that shelf there, the 3,800 foot shelf.
Okay.
That island in the middle of the San Vicente Reservoir.
Yeah.
That is the point at which it drops to 3,200.
Right. Yeah, I remember when we come back, we try to stay east of that island, right?
Yep. Yep.
There's 3,500. Towards Verona, green roof.
Looks like someone's coming our way. Someone's coming our way 200 feet below us.
Okay.
So he's already, like, let's say half a mile this side, parallel but opposite. So maybe to give him room, we can widen out.
Okay.
Just point a little more this way, and then we'll divert from him. I think I see him.
I see a light there,
Yep,
yeah. Yeah.
You can go ahead and give him a call, say you're approaching Verona. Inbound.
Okay. We're on frequency?
Inbound for touch and goes with November. Yep, we're on the right frequency.
Verona Tower, Cessna 3386 Echo, approaching the Verona Casino 3,500 inbound for touch and goes with November.
Cessna 3386 Echo, Ramona Tower, enter a left base, runway 27, to southeast.
Left base 27, we'll report 2 miles out, 386 Echo.
Like everything?
Yeah, you got it.
Fox 1, runway 27.
There he goes, clear.
I'm a little low now.
27 to Big Fox.
Traffic's past us.
Yep.
Bonanza is ready for IFR.
Oh,
27.
Winds 5599 Papa, Ramona Tower, hold short, runway 27 at the hold short line.
Are you trimmed?
I'm not. I'm trying to get back. I'm really bad at chasing altitudes and
No, you're doing fine.
climb a little bit more, like 50 more feet.
27, clear touch and go, and make.
So descent planning, when we're entering a left base, descent planning's a little bit more based off of judging it visually rather than like mathematically calculating it out when you start your descent. So every mile you go forward, you lose a standard glide path is about 300 feet that you lose. That runway is about a mile long, right? So
You're going to be a full stop with this.
touch and go.
Good, get the go.
No response?
No response. Okay. So what I do is kind of aim about a 1 mile final from the runway. So imagine extending that, taking that runway and rubber stamping it out another runway length.
He said call it a 2 mile final?
2 miles south.
It's
all 2 miles south. He's expecting us to do a left base entry.
Okay, so when we're 2 south is this way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so when
Right now,
we're 2
here's our
miles.
GPS. We're 5.4 miles from the center of the airport.
Okay. So about when that says.
Yeah, when this is like 2.2, I'll call. If he calls us first, then we don't have to do the report.
Okay, so but the point we should be aiming for, you said, is like.
So over here, because we're going to descend on base and join final.
Right.
So we want to be turning that 1 mile final, 300 feet AGL. So imagine that extended final, right?
Yeah.
We kind of want to aim as if we're going to collide at one of those houses that are like a mile beyond the final approach leg. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
So kind of see where the hill starts to turn a little bit brown over there?
Yeah.
Aim as if you're going to collide at that brown part. So reduce power a little bit and start a descent to aim at that bottom of that brown hill.
I think I'm looking at the right brown hill.
Yeah, I think you are, because I can tell right now your aiming point is lining up with it.
Okay.
All right, we're at 3.5.
Okay. Field elevation is 1400.
27, clear for takeoff.
27 clear for takeoff.
So when I get about to that hill, what I want to be about 1,000, you said, or no, not that much, right?
Well, we're aiming to be intercepting a mile final, which means we have to be 300 feet AGL about.
Echo, runway 27, clear touch and go, then make left close traffic. Clear touch and go, then left traffic, 27, proceed to Echo.
You can also readjust by just looking at the runway. I can tell we're kind of high, so let's reduce power even more.
And we'll do a gumps check.
Yeah, let's go full idle and a gumps check.
So gas, undercarriage, fixed and welded, mixture, full rich, propeller, another thing, flaps, should we go flaps 10?
We have to be below 110 or 113 right now.
Right. Switches, I'll turn my landing light on.
So if you pitch up, then you can get below 110, right?
Okay.
And then we can do flaps 10.
Okay, flaps 10.
And you don't have to report 2 miles anymore because he gave you an instruction.
Okay, right. So
pitch up again until we get into the white arc, and then we'll put more flaps down. Power all the way out.
Power's out.
And carburetor heat on.
Carb heat. I forgot about that.
Follow the touch and go Cessna.
Let's pull up, and then we'll bleed off airspeed, 85, flaps full.
Yep.
And then we'll square our turn because we're a little high, but we'll fix it.
Yep.
Clear to the right.
All right.
I'll kind of fly this one with you.
Okay. Please do.
We are a little high, so we'll just kind of land a little further down the runway. We're at 80 knots. For the gumps check, I add the letter C at the front.
Yeah, I forgot to do that.
C gumps.
I usually do too.
All right, so we're just letting the airplane slow down until it gets to like 65.
So should I aim at like the 1,000-foot marker?
Yeah, we can make that our aiming point. Yeah. Yep. But we're still a little fast, so I'm trying to let it come all the way down to 65 before we add power in.
Yep.
Trimming a little nose up. Okay, now add that power in. More power. Pushing the nose down, because anytime you add power, the nose wants to come up.
Okay.
There you go. We're driving at the aiming point. Give it a smidge more power. Driving at the aiming point. Less power now. Driving at the aiming point, like we're going to collide with it. Now reduce power. Now we're just still descending, but descending at a shallower angle. Power to idle. Here's our flare. Hold that flare attitude. Touchdown. I got your flaps. I got your carb heat. Full power, please. Right rudder. Right rudder. Small rudder inputs. Rotation.
There's 65 or 55. We're past it already. Go right rudder. Okay.
There you go.
He said make left traffic.
Yeah, he said left traffic.
Okay.
If you're never not sure, we can always ask him again.
Okay. I actually wrote it down, so I got it. Too fast. So it's 1,400, so I'm looking for about 2,100 before I turn left. Pitch up a little bit.
No, we'll turn at 500 feet AGL, so that'll be 1,900 MSL.
Okay. Still going a little fast. Pitch up a little bit. check the runway. Drifting a little bit.
We'll
There's
rebug you here.
Oh yeah.
There's no
1900.
traffic's coming. No traffic's coming. We're not going to cut anybody off by making this turn.
Okay.
And go ahead and turn. We'll just put that heading bug on the right side of the heading indicator.
Okay.
Pitch up a little more. Pitch up a little more. There's that heading bug on the right. So
Okay.
roll out.
All right. Perfect.
And continue climbing.
Climbing. Yeah.
Clear.
Clear.
Go ahead and roll into the downwind. Pitch up a little more. We got 200 feet to go.
Okay.
Alright, we'll correct for the wind and fly parallel with the runway. This is an appropriate distance right here. We're about 3/4 mile from the downwind.
Okay. I'll start to level off in it, or think about leveling off at 400.
Alright, nose down a hair. Reduce power to about 2300. There you go. That's good.
Okay.
Come 2 degrees to the right. Good, touch it.
1, 2, touch, go, it's a taco.
Let's get our Seagums done.
Seagums. Go carpet out.
Gas on both.
Gas is on both. Undercarriage fixed and welded. Mixtures full rich. Propeller's not a thing. Flaps not until we're beam.
I do gumps as well. I do the S as seatbelts and switches.
Seatbelts and switches, so we'll turn the landing light still on.
We're a beamer point. Reduce power to 1500 RPM.
15 or 16, did you say?
16. So let's try 16.
Oh, too much.
Flaps 10. We're below 110.
10 or below 110, yep, okay.
And now fly 80 knots on the downwind. We typically will lose about 200 feet from the traffic pattern altitude before we turn, which will correspond with about a 45-degree angle to the runway.
There's about 80 knots.
We're still too early to turn.
Yep.
Number 2, follow the Cessna.
Look back at the runway.
Looks about 45.
Yep, and look at we lost about 200 feet.
Cool.
Alright, turning base.
Lake of the wind, inbound.
We'll put the heading bug on the left side of the heading indicator.
Oh, right.
9713 Foxtrot, I'm on a tower. Maneuver south for a straight in runway.
Keep turning.
Yeah.
Final straight in.
Yeah, there's the runway.
27, report, full mile final.
There
Alright.
we go.
Judge your turn to final. Clear to the right.
Right.
We
About
can do
now.
Yeah, good. One more notch of flaps.
One more notch.
You're left wing now, about to turn final. Traffic aside, I was going to extend
So pick your aiming point, and we're going to drive to it at 65.
Aim at the numbers.
And if you want, we can go full flaps.
Okay. Nothing moves on me.
Alright,
Julia.
Okay.
so back and forth between 65 knots, drive at the aiming point. 65 knots, drive at the aiming point.
65, aiming point. Got aiming points then 27, 65.
320,
We're slowing down a little bit.
over the lake there, another right down.
Yeah, right now your aiming point's a little beyond 27, so let's pick a landing point, aiming point beyond 27.
Second stripe maybe?
Yeah, second stripe maybe will work. We're a little high for it, but we're sinking towards the appropriate glide path, so let it keep sinking. We're a little slow though, so we can nose down and add a hair power. There you go. Keep driving at that second stripe, keep driving at it. Airspeed, reduce power a little bit. Keep driving at your aiming point, get lower. Now ramp transition, reduce power to idle. Hold that 2 feet, a little more. That was all you at the end.
Oh, wow.
I got your flaps.
Okay, thank you.
RV, go ahead, full power, right rudder.
Power, right rudder.
The last 4 seconds of the transition and round out, that was all you. I let off.
That's 55, I forgot to rotate. A little more right foot. Pitch for 73. When you were saying a little more, I forgot what you were referring to.
So right at the end, when we're in the round out and flare, my brain is thinking about the pitch attitude. So if I say a little more, I mean a little more pitch attitude.
A little more pitch up?
A little more pitch up.
Okay.
Which corresponds to pulling back.
A little more aft pressure on the yoke, right? Okay.
Right. And I can't tell exactly what the pressure is going on in your...
You're following traffic about 5 east.
again, 86 Echo.
86 Echo, extend westbound another 1.5 miles before you turn the crosswind.
Extend another 1.5 miles before the crossing, 86 Echo.
That's what the 1-3 talks. You can head toward the numbers now. Keep your speed up for the next couple miles.
Where's that traffic he's talking about?
Probably coming from Sears.
I see a little dot up there.
Okay.
How far is 1.5 miles? How do you?
Well, the runway's a mile. So
Right, it was affirmative.
rubber stamp that 1.5 times. That's that. Like that mountain right there is about 1.5 miles.
Okay. We'll be well above it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna turn before the hill.
Okay.
I'll keep going a little bit further.
Going to Victor Foxtrot, extend westbound to follow the Cessna, doing the same.
We'll follow the Cessna. Actually, on this one, can I head out on a southwest departure whenever available?
I lost sight of that guy.
I think the traffic might be behind us, and he's turning out early to the south. Maybe that's why we hit.
Shortly, but
Maybe that's why we hit extend. But I don't see anyone, so go ahead. We did our 1.5 miles, so we can go ahead and turn.
Okay.
And we're also at our altitude as well.
so I'll call you crosswind.
All right, 86 Echo, you'll call the crosswind.
Oops. That's not what he said before, right?
Nope, that's not what he said before. We're just gonna keep.
So you can turn crosswind now.
All right, turning crosswind, 86 Echo. And you can always deviate from traffic pattern altitude if terrain's a problem, so you can just continue climbing.
Okay.
One quick with the go and then
You want to keep climbing right now?
No, now we're fine. Now we can go down to 2400. Put the heading bug on the right wing, roll out.
Oops.
Look out at the runway, we're good to go downwind. And we can make a gentle descent down to 2400. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the traffic situation was that caused that.
Well, I think he was telling the guy behind us to do the same thing we were doing.
I heard that.
I think because of the guy.
That guy's departing. Not really sure.
I don't see him either. I have to clean this windshield.
Yeah, there's one guy over here. He's going away from us.
So try to descend a little bit down to 2400.
Once you get to 2400, 2300 RPM will correspond to about 90 knots on the downwind.
Okay. That's what we want.
Yeah, 90 knots on the downwind's a good speed.
Go down.
And we can get our C-gumps done.
Okay. Should I do carb heat already?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little early, but at least we get it all done when our workload is low.
Okay. Carb heat down. Gas both. I was going to struggle with this. Undercarriage down and welded. Mixture full rich. Propellers not a thing in this plane. The flaps will go 10 at a beam or here there. Seatbelts and switches. Landing lights on.
When I get to an item like flaps and I am not going to actuate it, the standard phraseology is to say flaps to go, meaning it's an item that we'll do later.
Okay.
Thanks for help for the class.
Flaps to go. Okay.
Give it a little power up to 2300 RPM.
23?
Yeah, 23 will hold us at 90 knots. And we're paying attention to any wind drift in the pattern because we want to maintain the appropriate distance.
Okay.
If we get too close, we'll end up overshooting the final turn and possibly stall spin. So we're maybe half a mile.
He didn't clear us for a touch.
No, not yet. 86 Echo downwind.
76 Echo, your traffic is short, final in effect, you're runway 27, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, 26 Echo. Alright, reduce power to 15, 16. So we're a little late on the power start, so just
flaps
go,
10?
speed 110, flaps 10, and reduce power to 1500.
Don't let the nose climb.
Go, that's fine. Let's keep descending before we turn. We lost about 100 feet from TPA, looking back at the runway. We may have to go a little further than that 45-degree angle because we started late.
Okay.
Or we could compensate for that by just reducing power further. If you'd like, I think we can turn base now.
Okay.
We've lost 200 feet from TPA.
That's just the heading bug.
Yeah, pick those up just a slight bit.
Try to put that bug on my left.
Bug on the left. Clear to the right, nobody's there.
Yeah, your traffic is heading to your right on left base.
Yeah, if they ever forget about you and you're you're 5 seconds, 10 seconds past the numbers, and then you just say your call sign with the word downwind.
Okay.
We're getting pretty low here, so let's kind of pick the nose up here.
2008 is up.
We still want to slow down, but we don't want to lose altitude.
Okay. So we got one white, one red. That's what we want, right?
That glide path is always going to guide you to a point on the runway, a beam where the lights are at.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So that point is, that means that puts your aiming point on the first stripe.
Okay, should we do flaps 20?
Yeah, let's put them all in.
All flaps, okay.
Speed
Going with
checks.
the nose rise. We're at 70 knots. Rising a little bit.
Looking for 65. You're on glide path. Just aim at your aiming point. 65. Aim at the aiming point.
5, aim at the end. Okay.
Try to be within 1 knot accuracy on that airspeed. Give it a little power.
65.
Power. A little more power. Drive at the aiming point. Now you can reduce power. There you go. That holding 65. Keep driving at the aiming point. You need a hair of right rudder for the crosswind.
Okay.
There you go. Now your nose is aligned with that right rudder.
Yeah.
And use opposite aileron. Reduce power a little bit. Start pulling back. Hold that altitude. Hold about 1 or 2 feet off the runway. A little more. Hold the nose up attitude. Oh, my controls.
Your controls.
Oh, that's fine. We can save it. Flaps 20.
0991 Juliet, I'm on a tower, south transition to
Your controls.
My controls.
We need those flaps 1 notch at a time. Bringing them up.
Flaps 10.
All right, airspeed and altitude is good. And flaps up.
Flaps up.
So what happened is we started we started a little bounce, which was fine. You could have saved it by just holding the landing attitude, but what you did is you released back pressure, which caused the nose to go down, and then you compressed the nose wheel, which got us into the second part of the porpoise. Yeah. So we were starting porpoising,
Right.
and then we still had enough energy to save it even the third time. So all I wanted to do was just pull back. Look at where the horizon's at, select a slight nose up attitude, and hold that attitude until we come down.
Okay.
The approach was pretty good, though. I liked the approach.
Yeah, it felt good, and then, lost it there at the end.
Also, right during the transition, when you reduce power, what does the airplane want to do? It wants to nose down.
Right.
Due to that, the airflow, the downforce on the tail is reduced whenever you reduce that power setting. So you have to anticipate that when you pull the power out, your hand needs to pull back at the same time. You'll go ahead and turn left.
Yep.
And when you do a go round and you push the power in, your left hand should be pushing the nose down. So the left hand and the right hand should
I've heard both hands need to go
be
forward.
linked. Yeah, the left hand and right hand are linked together.
Not climbing enough, am I? How are we doing on time? How many more do we have time for?
It's 2:50 right now. I don't know what your hop start was, but looks like we've probably been going for an hour. We had a long run-up time at Montgomery.
Check left.
Clear right. Go ahead. Go down left.
Yep.
You want to do maybe 3 more, 4 more?
Sure. Looking for 2400 still.
So if that runway's a mile, and you can imagine rubber stamping it at a 90-degree angle, that means we're currently about 1 mile away from the runway, which is good.
Okay.
Usually you want to be about 3/4 to 1 mile away from the runway on the downwind.
Okay.
At least in this airplane.
There's 2400.
Reduce power to 23.
Pause. Power.
2300.
2300.
A little less power, and that'll settle in at 90 knots. Pitch up just to 1 degree. We're in a slight descent. There you go. Look at that sight picture.
Okay.
All right, we're a good distance from the runway. The wind's not pushing us in.
Yep. So, runway about halfway up the strut is probably a good visual reference.
Yeah.
Juliet, remain the fix.
Lost a little bit of altitude.
Okay.
Let's get our seat dumps done.
So, carpet in, gas both, undercarriage down and welded, mixture full rich, propeller not a thing, flaps. Go ahead and go 10, or no?
Yeah, always do a speed check.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
Speed
Okay, so
110.
we're below 110.
Below
flaps
110, flaps 10.
Okay.
Take Echo downwind.
Take Echo, Charlie Snow Factor, runway 27, clear touch and go.
Clear touch, go 27, take Echo. I just remind him with the shortest phrase I can think of.
Yeah.
All right, reduce power down. Almost. Let's just do idle all the way out because we're high.
Okay.
And we could do speeds below 85, flaps 20.
Please 85, flaps 20.
And we could turn base.
Turn base.
We only lost 100 feet, but also the fact that the power is at idle is going to help us get back down.
Okay.
A little steeper bank. Shoot for about 70 knots. So this is a two nose down because our airspeed's picking up.
Okay.
So that's about the appropriate nose down attitude here.
Where's that bug? There it is. Okay.
I can see the runway now.
Right about there.
Yeah, we're pretty much on glide path. Clear to the right.
Yep.
Airspeed's good for the turn. We're above 70. Give it a little power. We need a little power now. A little more power.
Starting too early, maybe.
Yeah, a little early on the turn, but that's okay. Just make it a shallow turn until you get there. And if you'd like, we can go flaps full.
Okay.
Alright, now you're slowing down to 65 now.
I think I've been warned against doing flaps in a turn though, because when you go back level, it's like it can catch you off guard how much lift you're generating.
Okay, yeah. It's just a matter of getting used to what the airplane will do. When you put the flaps down, the nose wants to go up.
Right.
So as long as you're kind of keeping that in mind, then you can do them at any time.
Okay. So I'm looking at the numbers. I don't know if that's where I'm aimed though.
Yeah, we can make the numbers work. We're on a slightly high glide path, but we can make that work.
Okay.
Use the rudder to align the nose with the runway. There you go. So just a hair right rudder will compensate for that wind. And then opposite aileron will keep us on center line. We're a little slow, so let's nose down and give it some power. Give it some power. Keep driving, push nose down. Anytime you push that power in, you got to push the nose down. Now reduce power to idle. All right, your plane, hold it off a little more pitch, a little more pitch. Power idle. Power idle, hold the pitch up, hold the pitch up. Pitch up, hold the pitch up. Pitch up, there you go. See how you saved it with the foot pitching up, flaps up.
Oops. Flaps up, carb heat in.
27, Bravo.
Full power.
Full power. Back on this side, center line.
All right, we got enough runway, yep.
Alright, there's 55.
Rotate.
Rotate.
Whenever you're retracting flaps, your eyes are coming into the cockpit, and there's a subconscious movement you're making on the rudder pedals, and that's why we did a little swerve.
Oh, okay.
So what I would encourage you to do is get used to lifting the flaps up by feel and keeping your eyes out on on what's outside, and be conscious of the fact that you know you're going to give that subconscious rudder input.
Probably something I could chair fly just to be used to where these things are.
Yep.
What's your destination and your requested altitude?
But yeah, you did what is right there is that you pulled back and set that landing attitude, and then that third little touchdown you corrected for all that.
I mean, that was like a really hard landing though, right? Or was that pretty normal?
I knew it was going to be a little hard, but I was okay with not interfering.
Okay.
To let you, learn from your mistakes.
Right.
Let's come 10 degrees left with that purple diamond over it a little bit.
Yeah. So was I a little, I was like too slow?
Our airspeed was down to like 60 at one point. Go ahead and make your turn. Okay. And so what I did to correct that is I gave you a little help at the final. When we were about 50 feet off the runway, I pushed the nose down.
Right.
That would help us get us a little airspeed, and I gave it just a hair throttle. Those two things in combination would give us, 65 knots.
Okay.
One thing that happened is I saw, when we added power, the nose wanted to go up, and you let the nose go up. So when you make a power change, your elevator has to also make that change at the same time.
Okay.
Go ahead, go downwind, clear,
downwind.
20 Juliet, departure frequency is 12.
Pitch up a little more to VY.
26.
A little more what?
Pitch up to like VY speed.
Departure frequency is 120.05 and squawk.
There you go. Is this an appropriate distance
20 Juliet.
from the runway? I'd say so. We're probably about a 1 mile.
Just about 2,400. There it is.
You can let it accelerate up to about almost 90 and then pull back to 2,300. There we go, and we can get our seek-ups done while our workload is low.
Heartbeat down, flat, God, I got so bad. Bumps, gas both, undercarriage, fixed and welded.
And don't just say it, we got to visually verify it, right?
Yeah, gas both, undercarriage fixed and welded, mixture full rich, propeller, propeller not a thing, flaps.
Go ahead and say clear touch.
Where was I? Flaps to go, is that what we said?
Yeah.
And switches and seatbelts.
One.
Alright. A little low on power, but that's okay. That's what's giving us that 85 knots.
Okay.
Alright, we're almost a beam. Alright. Reduced to 1600.
I'm on a tower, this is Cessna 7320 Juliet, holding short.
More, reduce more.
One, ready for takeoff. 7320 Juliet.
Alright, close enough.
And
Speed 110.
Below 110, flaps 10.
Juliet.
Put that magenta diamond on east. So a few degrees left.
Left, okay. Yeah.
And hold about 80 knots in this descent. A little more to the left. Look back at the runway, you can see we're kind of diverting away from it.
Yeah.
So come.
There's my 80.
Alright, now you can go down base.
Returning base.
We are cleared.
Going a little slow.
That's too nose low. Too much nose low. And we're probably getting too low as well. I can just tell looking down.
Yeah.
So give us a little power. And shoot for 70 knots.
Okay.
Clear, right?
There's my 70.
Alright, now you can reduce power again. We're on glide path, so a little reduction of power. Flaps 20.
Flaps 20.
Give you a heads up.
Clear. Go ahead, start your gentle turn.
Roger, right about 3,500 work. Altimeter is 3005. 35 at about 35, thanks. Thank you.
Okay.
Alright, reduce power a little more. Flaps full.
Power, flaps full.
Remote power, Archer 40.
65. And airspeed is king. Keeping that airspeed 1 or 2 knots difference makes a world of difference on how the landing goes. So try to keep it right at 65.
Okay, I need to pitch up a little bit for that. I'm at idle. There's a bird on the runway. There's 65.
Add the power in.
Add a little power.
Drive at your aiming point. Drive at your aiming point. 65. Nose down a little bit. Drive at that aiming point. 65. Drive at that aiming point. Nose down. Nose down.
I can't seem to get to 80.
Alright, at 10 feet, you're going to reduce power to idle. Right about now, pull back, hold it right there, hold that attitude, hold that attitude, hold that attitude. Now a little more pitch, hold that attitude, hold that attitude. Alright, that was not bad. Flaps up.
Carb
Directional control.
Oops, wrong one, okay.
Full power.
Right foot.
Remote power.
Not bad, I didn't touch anything. That was all you.
We're past 55. Rotate.
Contact, look out of Archer, getting.
So we might have done the transition part just like 2-3 feet higher than maybe I wanted. So you just got to drive a little bit, just a hair lower, and then you were pretty much holding the right attitude. It's just that right at the end, it needed a hair more flare, and I can't say it fast enough before you have to be giving the input.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was a safe landing, you know.
Yeah,
that was a good
it.
landing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could tell we definitely thudded harder than I thought, but I felt like that right, like it kind of like paused in a level like, and it felt right.
Yeah, we were
flying
flying straight and level at one point, which is exactly right. And then it's during that time the airspeed's bleeding off.
Right.
So then it starts to develop a sink a couple of seconds later, and that's when you do the flare to arrest that sink.
I think, I'll go ahead and turn left. It just feels sketchy, like when you're like nose downing towards the ground like that. It's like everything in your brain wants to pull back and like avoid danger.
Yeah.
But kind of got to get more comfortable with that.
might be that you need to look a little further down the runway. If you have that sensation that we're going to hit, then it might be that you need to move your eyes a little further down the runway.
Traffic short final factory, runway 27, clear land.
Oh,
279.
there's some other echo.
Yep.
Keep that heading bug on the right.
Aircraft data faster is current.
Go ahead.
Go and turn base. Downwind.
Yep.
607.
I would like to turn the radio down on short final so that I can like better talk to you during that phase, and I turn it back up on the upwind.
Okay. Almost 2400, not quite. Heading bug right behind us.
All right, reduce power to 23. Close enough.
About there. We're at 2400.
Put the purple diamond on east, so a little bit to the right.
Yep. There's traffic coming in.
Oh yeah, we'll be behind them, so we're gonna have to extend downwind. We're in a little bit of a descent, so select a new sight picture that's slightly nose up. There's level right there. Get our C-gumps done.
Oh, yep. Carb heat, gas, both. Undercarriage fixed and welded, mixture full rich. Props not a thing. Flaps 10 to go. Seatbelts and switches are set.
You can do the seatbelts and switches before flaps because it's the part of the GUMPS acronym, and then flaps at the end, just flaps to go.
Okay, I always thought it was GUMPS, like with a...
Oh, there's actually probably about 20 different ways people have come up with that acronym, so...
110, flaps 10.
Echo number 2, follow Cessna off your left on a short final full stop, runway 27, clear touch and go.
Number 2, runway 27, clear touch go, 8 echo.
Perfect.
I could have said traffic in sight too, huh?
So,
I think...
6 echo, turn base now.
Turn base, 6 echo.
Fort Charlie Alpha, your number...
All right, reduce power a little more.
At your 12 o'clock on the left base turn, report them inside. We're looking for traffic, number 3.
Reduce power even more.
What's that?
Reduce power.
Do you see your usher inside ahead?
Flaps under 8, we're under 85, flaps 20.
Okay.
Charlie Alpha.
And power all the way out to idle.
I like to request the touch to go, but if you need me to do full stop, I can do it. 478 Charlie Alpha.
We'll shoot for 70 to 80 knots in that range, looking clear. We got the traffic about 2 miles this way. He's going to be behind us.
Okay.
It's 9713 Fox, so we're going to be departing back to Gillespie.
Let's put flaps full. I know we're in a turn, but that'll help us
Just
slow
slow down. There's a guy crossing. Flaps full. Power's idle. Dude on the runway pulling off.
I'm going to show you a little bit of a slip here. We're gonna go full left rudder and right aileron and nose down.
7 clear to land, 404.
To bleed some altitude.
Bleeds altitude and airspeed.
Yeah, 13 Fox.
All right, ear controls back to normal flying.
13 Fox. Come on to tower, Fort Charlie Alpha. Can we get touch?
A little bit nose trim up maybe, and we're a little low on glide path. Give it a little power. Drive at the point. Drive at a point, maybe the first or second stripe. Drive at the first or second stripe.
4 Charlie.
And start to reduce power. We just want to fly 1 foot off the runway. 1 foot off the runway. Hold, reduce power to idle. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. A little more. A little more. A little more. All right, we'll take it.
Okay.
Flaps up.
Flaps
Got
up.
it. Carb
Carb heat. Full throttle.
Touch go, 478.
Right foot.
Just a 95 echo, detect.
All right, good.
Oops. There's 55.
Play.
Rotate.
Just a 95 echo.
What do you say, 1 more or go home?
Call.
Yeah, let's do 1 more.
All right, 1 more.
If we have time.
Yeah, no, I got time.
Okay.
In fact, if you want to continue, we could do 2, 3, 4 more.
Let's do 1 more.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I just don't want you to get too fatigued. I know after around an hour and a half, maybe hour 1.9, students usually are just they're beat.
Brain turns to mush at some point.
Yeah. Come left just about 5-10 degrees.
Oh yeah. That peak is a good visual reference.
Unless we have a crosswind, then the peak doesn't work.
Right. Okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get back to you in time. Yeah, they turned off right there. And somewhere in there is a
I don't see anybody coming from this direction. Nobody on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much.
Although we don't have traffic, that little X right there.
He hasn't said anything to us, so I'll go ahead and turn crosswind.
Yep. Yeah, it's a normal altitude for crosswind. I have had before where they did not say anything to me, and I turned my normal crosswind, and then there was an aircraft.
There was a what?
There was an aircraft coming from that direction, so I always visually
sure.
check.
Yeah. Dude, right behind us.
Alright, go ahead and start your downwind.
Okay.
Pitch for 73. Roll the nose up. We try to always hold VY until at least 1,000 feet, and then you can go to a faster airspeed if you'd like.
Okay. 1,000 feet AGL, right?
Yeah, just so that it like maximizes our possibility of turn back to the runway.
Okay, yeah. Altitude is your friend, right?
Yeah. Alright, now we're back to 2,300.
2,300. Do my first gumps. Gumps.
Good.
So go ahead and go carb heat. Gas on both, undercarriage fixed and welded, mixtures full rich, propeller, another thing, seats, belts, and switches. And we'll do flaps at 10 at a beam point.
Clear, touch and go.
Is that us?
Is that for 86 Echo?
86 Echo affirmative, number 1, runway 27, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, number 27, 86 Echo. And as we last one, we'll go southbound Port rapidly.
86 Echo, after touch and go, south departure approved.
Let's turn to the right because we started merging into the runway. I don't know if that was for us, but we'll deal with it later.
That's not, yeah.
Yep.
Don't want to switch for
Another visual aid is you have this line representing our ground track, and you have this dash line representing the runway. So if you parallel those lines up, you know you're not drifting in or out.
That's cool.
Let's cut power all the way to idle, just because we're late and we're 100 feet high. So that'll power all the way to idle will help us get down.
Okay, we're idle.
We're below 85. How about we do flaps 20 early, just because that will also help us get down.
Okay.
Every landing's different. There's the formula for the pattern is just a rule of thumb. Everything is really just based on eyeballing it, judging.
Yeah. He didn't say to, but I went ahead and turned base.
Well, he cleared us touch and go. So when he says clear to touch and go, that means you can turn base.
Right, I know we're allowed to, but I was waiting for your cue.
Oh, sorry. No, you did. Good call on base turn. Clear right. We're a little high still.
We're only 65.
Yeah, so just more power. Just nose down. Nose down, because we're high, right?
Oh, right.
So pitching down kills two birds with one stone. It gets us our airspeed and it gets us to where we need to be.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're at 77. We're going a little fast.
Yeah, reduce power to idle.
Power to idle.
And we can go full flaps. Speeds under 85.
Full flaps.
Is on the down.
Aim at your aiming point.
Okay.
You can turn base anytime, number 2, and follow traffic.
Pick the nose up just a hair, and that airspeed will bleed off. And continue driving at that aiming point. Nose trim up if you need it.
Number 3, follow the archer head, number 2.
Power in a little bit. Airspeed's there. Drive at the point. Look at the point. A little bit of power for the airspeed. Nose down at the point. Drive at the point. Drive at the point. Remember your dominant eye and where to look a little further down the runway. Hold it there. Just hold it. Yeah. All right.
That was the best one.
Yeah, I didn't touch anything. That was all you.
Still doing my drifty thing. Carpet in, full power. Right foot.
Yeah, that was. Let's end on a high note.
That one felt good. Yeah. There's 55.
Yeah, perfect landing. Great landing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I didn't touch a thing.
Go back to the now one just briefly. I'll turn you back in. I have 1 departure.
Pitching for VY.
78, sorry out.
86 Echo, request early left crosswind.
86 Echo, early crosswind approved.
86 Echo, thank you.
Early crosswind. crosswind. We can start turning.
Now, and still clear touching over runway 27.
But just to get us on our way faster?
Yeah, just to get it home faster. I saw there's no traffic, so if you're below 500 feet, then you should, if you want to turn early, you can. You just got to request it.
Okay.
But the name of the game is to be predictable to the controller.
Right.
Don't do anything that makes him think like, whoa, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I was planning on this traffic separation.
Bringing the power back now. Mike Kilo, copy.
Alright. I don't really know what to aim at.
This is a good heading. Yeah, so let's put your heading on like 155.
Okay.
If you could widen out about.
If I go to my flight plan page,
Yeah.
I can hit the menu key and invert,
Oh, okay.
and that flips my flight plan all around.
Never knew that. That's
So now
cool.
we're going to Verona Casino, and we have a green needle here for VORs, so
Right.
if I hit the CDI key, now you've got a course to Verona Casino.
Right.
If I want to recenter the needle for my present position to Verona Casino, I hit the direct key.
76 Echo, frequency change is approved. Good, thanks. Over there, yeah, frequency change is approved. 86 Echo, thank you.
If I hit the
You can turn inbound anytime, runway 27.
If I hit the direct key, it takes my active waypoint and populates it, and then I can just hit direct. And now point the purple diamond at the purple arrow, and we'll go to Verona Casino.
Okay. And we've been doing about 3,500 on the way back too.
Yeah, because 3,500, you have to do it both ways because of the terrain and the airspace.
Right.
So sometimes what I'll do is if I see on the traffic screen several miles out that someone's coming the other way, I'll pick something like 3,300 or 3,200, just some weird number,
Right.
to stay away from their altitude.
Okay. Oh wait, the purple dot. What's the purple diamond?
The purple diamond is our ground track, so the fact that it's to the left of our heading means the wind is somewhere from our right, which actually it says right here, the wind, that's the wind direction and the wind's velocity.
Okay, so the orange line is my nose. Purple diamond is my ground track.
The orange-brown line is your current heading, and the diamond is, we're pointing this way, but we're flying this way.
Okay, I never knew that. That's cool.
And that's why when we're in the traffic pattern, we always use the purple diamond, because then that automatically will correct for any wind drift, any crosswind effects.
Good to know. Cool.
So I don't see any traffic coming, but thinking ahead of the airplane, we can switch our ATIS back over to Montgomery.
Okay.
And then we already got a frequency change, even though we're in the class Delta. He let us.
0.
He told us we can switch frequency, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick up ATIS.
004. Left, right straight right and use. Land again, departing runway 28 left, right straight right. Note them. Departing runway 28 right, tower frequency 125.7. Departing runway 28 left, tower frequency 119.2. Runway alignment indicator lights unusable. Cranes in the vicinity of Montgomery. Cranes in the vicinity of Montgomery. Available on flight service station frequency. Advised on initial contact at Montgomery Airport information Bravo 2253 Zulu. Wind 1706.
Stop your climb. Stop your climb.
Oh, yep.
19er dew point 11. Altimeter 3.
Let's fix this first. Let's focus on this because we're only 100 feet from the Bravo.
Okay.
So let's fix this first.
Note them. Departing runway 28 right, tower frequency 125.7. Departing runway 28 left, tower.
You can shoot for like 2,500 RPM and then nose down a little bit.
Cranes in the vicinity of Montgomery. Cranes in the vicinity of Montgomery. Hazardous weather available.
We pretty much got it. It's 3004. We have information Bravo. Alright, now you always fly by step one, take a guess of what attitude you think will achieve what you want, and then give it a few seconds. This lags.
Right.
The digital one doesn't really lag nearly as much. It's almost instantaneous.
Okay.
But yeah, then you check to see if you're getting the performance you want out of that attitude.
Right. Okay. So bleed off about 40 more feet, 20 more feet.
Yeah. We're close to the island, so just come 5 degrees left.
Okay.
Give us a little bit more margin from that airspace. See how close we're going to brush it.
So, okay. So it's pretty much we go around that island, and then what we did before is kind of make our way towards the approach end of Gillespie, and then towards Mount Helix.
That's fine. The only thing you can't do is you can't cross that blue line to the right side
Better
of
to
it.
give you more buffer.
Otherwise, you have to be below 3,200 feet to not violate the airspace. So we're really, I like a little more buffer than this, so just come like 5 degrees left. There's Lake Jennings. So kind of fly that heading, another 5 degrees left. We can also...
Towards Lake Jennings, or?
A little to the right of Lake Jennings, right about here, wings level.
Okay.
And then if you look at the screen, look, we're now on a trajectory where we're going to miss this Bravo, so now I'm comfortable.
Okay.
And then once we get another mile or two that way, then we can turn towards Gillespie Airport.
Gotcha.
For cruise, we could set about 24 to 2,500 RPM to cruise, because we're only doing 94 knots. The airplane can handle 24, 2,500 RPM cruise. That's a 55% power setting. We can go up to like 75% or 24, 2,500.
Okay. About like that.
It's called renter speed, because you're paying by the hour, so might as well go fast.
Alright, gotcha.
Alright, and then over here, what can we do here?
Switch over to tower.
There you go. So that's 28 right. We'll just give that a shot and see if they give us 28 right.
Okay.
Right, 416 Charlie Alpha.
I'll usually wait till I'm over by Mount Helix or so, or?
You can, but Montgomery they usually take us early, and I like to contact them early because then they have radar and they can tell me about other airplanes.
Okay.
So
maybe when I'm
one of the VFR landmarks here is Lakeside Golf Course, which is like right here.
Okay.
So you could call in and say we're over to Lakeside Golf Course
ahead
with Bravo inbound to land.
Okay. As soon as I have a clearance here.
Stay right, touch and go, number 2 to Whiskey. Montgomery Tower, Cessna 3386 Echo, east of Lake Jennings, 3,500, inbound to landing with Bravo. Cessna 3386 Echo, Montgomery Tower, squawk 4211, make straight in, runway 28. Squawk 4211, make straight in, 28 right, 86 Echo.
Perfect. We're actually west of Lake Jennings, not east, but close enough.
Oh. I said Lake, wait, did I say Lake Golf Course though?
No, this is called Lakeside Golf Course. What I heard you say was we are east of Lake Jennings.
Oh, I meant to say Golf Course. Alright, my bad.
You could have said west of Lake Jennings, that also would have worked, but he now has a squawk code, so now he knows where we're at.
I've never got one of those before.
Yeah, sometimes, actually a lot of times they give us 0400, and that represents a Montgomery VFR airplane. So multiple aircraft could have 0400.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their decision process is on when they tag us up with a squawk code.
So what are we thinking for our kind of approach? We'll kind of overfly Gillespie.
Yeah, go over Gillespie, and then do you see Lake Murray out there, that little water?
Yeah.
Lake Murray is in line with the final approach into 28 right and 28 left.
So let's go with Lake Murray and then over?
Just aim for Lake Murray.
Okay.
And then, what do we do about our altitude?
I don't know. Do we should start our descent?
We should start our descent. So we're currently above the class Delta at Gillespie.
Right.
Which goes up to how high?
2,400.
2,400. So let's go to 2,600. So bug 2,600 there. Alright, click, and now you can start your descent to 2,600. And then by the time you pass Lake Murray, you will be clear of the Delta. If you look at the map, Lake Murray is right at the edge of the Delta.
Okay.
So just as you pass it, you'll be clear. And 2,600 at Lake Murray will put you on a slightly high glide path.
There's traffic 2 miles north of Mount Helix, inbound for the parallel runway. That's altitude indicates 2,900.
Looking for traffic.
Looking for traffic, 86 Echo.
We said north of Mount Helix.
Yeah, so this is Mount Helix. This little pimple of a hill is Mount Helix. And we are currently about 4 miles north of Mount Helix. Yep. He is 1 mile north of Mount Helix.
They said he was above us or below us?
I don't know on the altitude.
And 86 Echo, what altitude is our traffic at? So say 86 Echo there, about 3 miles south of you at 2,800.
All right, negative contact. We'll, traffic is sight, 86 Echo.
Just 86 Echo, thanks.
There he is. Is he on the left side, or do we need to fall in behind him, 86 Echo?
Use for runway 28 left, 2 for 28 right.
Copy.
I don't see him.
So now he's, if you look at Mount Helix.
Oh, I got him.
Yeah, there he is.
Okay.
He's on the,
3-3.
he's on 28 left, we're on 28 right.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're still shooting for that 2,600 by the time we get to Lake Murray there.
Yeah. A good rule of thumb for planning your descent is it takes about 3 nautical miles to lose 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
So if you have to lose 3,000 feet, we need 9 nautical miles.
Okay.
I could go flight plan, Montgomery, direct. I could set a course of 283 to the airport, and that basically will draw a straight line representing the final approach path. So when I hit direct, I could punch in that course there, and now you have a way of determining how to line up with the runway.
Okay.
Montgomery Tower, Sky 733 November.
I'm glad I'm recording this. I'll have to watch that later. I didn't really fully understand.
2800. There's a free simulator you can get on your iPad for this, by the way.
Oh, okay.
About 100 feet to go.
Drops 11 o'clock and 2.5 miles.
I lost that traffic, but there's the runway.
Yeah, he's right there.
Okay. Traffic. I got him.
This is a 3 November Charlie. Do you require any medical assistance?
3 November Charlie, negative. Thank you. Passenger is conscious again. We'll make it a full stop. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Charlie, right.
Level off.
6 Charlie Alpha, continue down on, I'll call your base.
Which guy is that? Is that this guy? Or the guy behind us?
He's
Charlie Alpha, actually.
talking to somebody in the pattern.
Okay. They declare an emergency?
Anything else? I'm not sure what the context is, but
6 Echo, traffic will extend down on a Cherokee, runway 28 right, clear to land.
clear to land, 28 right, 6 Echo. Yeah, your radio communications are quite good, actually.
Oh, thank you.
We're pretty much...
Continue on the...
We're pretty much clear right now. We're 50 feet above.
Okay.
So now you can reduce power. You see how that puts us on a high glide path?
Yeah.
So you have to skim this airspace every time.
Make right traffic.
So pull the power out.
I see this guy right over here.
Okay.
Clear touch, go 28 right, inside my other Cessna 102.
And we have traffic on downwind who's going to extend downwind. So let's get on final so that we're not going to be near the traffic.
I'm just nervous about this guy.
Okay.
6 Charlie Alpha,
Looks like we're passing them up pretty fast.
left 360, and then a report reestablished on the downwind.
Reduce power a little bit.
We'll contact you when we are back on the downwind, deploying 6 Charlie Alpha.
Reduce power a little more.
Number 3, following the Cessna on a 3.
Get our C-gumps done.
What's that?
Our
C-gumps. Alright, carb heat in, out. Undercarriage, no, gas on both. Undercarriage on a welded. Mixture full rich. We never lean that for our cruise back.
That's fine.
Mental note. Propeller.
50 miles.
Propeller not a thing. Seatbelt and switches. Landing lights still on. Never turn that off.
Flaps to go.
Flaps.
Speed 110.
Oh, yep. Speed 110, flaps 10. Who's that guy? I don't see that guy anymore. Behind us?
Yeah, we were overtaking him. I'll look for him. You fly the plane.
Okay. Get to the left a little bit. I've never landed on this runway before. New.
Let's pull the power out and lift the nose up so we can bleed off airspeed and get into the white arc for flap deployment.
Okay.
Pick the nose up a little more. Now we're in flap range, so go ahead and put all those flaps down.
All? Okay.
Yeah.
Flaps full.
Yeah, because we need to lose a lot of airspeed.
Yep.
Alright, now we're slowing down. Pick the nose up. Pick the nose up.
What's that?
Pick the nose up. Pick the nose up. There you go. Now we're on aiming at 28.
More left 360.
We might need some trim in there. Now add the power back in. Might need some trim.
6 Golf Whiskey, number 3, following traffic on a 3 mile final, runway 28 right, clear to land.
Airspeed, aiming point. Airspeed, aiming point. The wind's off the left side, so just a touch of right rudder to align the nose. There you go. And then opposite aileron will keep you on center line.
Okay.
You're looking perfect.
63.
Keep a little more power.
What do you think it's in at the 805 where you...
We're on a shallow glide path. It's okay. But we're just going to get a little lower than before. And now reduce power. Reduce power. Pull back. Pull back. Reduce power to idle. Not so much.
Charlie Alpha 1 2.
Alright, hold that attitude.
Yeah,
there we go.
Now we'll go flaps up. Stay on the center line.
I'm going to help you with brakes here.
Yeah.
Let's go to Echo.
Okay.
I'm going to tower. Falling close to Honda to the side. Right close to 495 on golf. Take true left at runway 23 and hold short of runway 2 left. Left 23, hold short 3, left 86 Echo.
I was going to go Echo, but he assigned us 2-3.
Yeah.
Runway 3 right was that.
So we have to, there's no hold short line. Well, actually there is, that's new. We have to hold short of the elevator runway signage.
Okay.
But
he said, yeah, he said hold short to his left, right?
Yeah. This is a new line.
Falling close to 495.
Man, it looks fresh.
Yeah. I'll do a stop.
Thank you.
There's our traffic on our left.
Leading the mixture a little bit, carpet in.
2 miles, 1,700.
Taxi light on.
Not the lanes here that's passing off here.
We're rolling.
Strobe off, landing light off.
Brakes, we're rolling.
Got it.
36 Alpha, follow traffic, hit to the right. And number 3 now, runway 2.
Our traffic's clear.
We're still on tower, right? Like, we don't need we don't switch to
We
ground.
should not switch, no.
Right, going to Charlie Alpha.
You look left.
Whiskey.
There's somebody landing right now.
Down one.
So he's not going to let us cross until he's done.
I guess I've just never experienced this scenario. I don't know if, like, this ground...
If you're ever, yeah, so if you're ever in between runways, you stay on the tower.
Okay.
Really, you should only switch to ground when told to.
Your VFR westbound and your...
What do you think he was going to tell us to do? Like, go across and...
He's going to say,
take
cross
hotel?
28 left, contact ground.
Okay. Does that mean turn on hotel, or does that mean just, like, stop on the other side?
Stay on the runway, stop on the other side.
Okay.
To say to Echo without delay, cross runway 2 left, contact ground, that Cherokee head will be turning on hotel. That's the cross 28 left, well, over down, thank you. Echo.
Alright, so reduce power. So he should be turning on hotel if he so he probably didn't follow the instructions correctly, but let's get close to him.
3 November Charlie, turn left at Mike and hold short over.
I'm gonna switch to ground. A little closer. So see the elevator runway sign?
Yeah.
So we're on the appropriate side. So just come to a stop right here. This is good.
Okay.
We're clear. So he was instructed by the tower on 119.2 to turn on to hotel. He did not.
Okay.
It's okay. He made a mistake. We're on ground now, so now we can say we're on runway 23 at hotel.
Yep.
Request taxi.
Coming down, runway 23 Echo, runway 23 at hotel, taxi to executive. Pick up Montgomery ground, taxi via hotel and Juliet. Hotel and Juliet, take it Echo. Perfect, we pick up the Cherokee head, should be calling me any second.
So he's just saying he hasn't called ground yet,
Okay.
and
4255, take it, Montgomery ground, yep.
now the tower control is
Trying to get a hold of him.
trying to get a hold of him.
3555, take it, 35.
Low time pilot.
3555, take it, Montgomery ground, taxi hotel, Golf Kilo.
Hotel Golf Kilo, Bye-Bye Tango.
You're always allowed to.
Tango going to executive.
No problem, taxi via hotel Juliet.
Hotel Juliet, Bye-Bye Tango, thank you.
All right, there you go.
They're struggling a little bit.
Okay. Either student pilot or low time pilot.
Makes me feel better
Feel
when
good?
I see somebody else messing up more than I'm messing up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people, like, I did all my training in, like, mostly at uncontrolled fields. So, like, coming to Montgomery was crazy, even though I had a
Private pilot's license. I can imagine, yeah.
715 Charlie, Montgomery ground, follow the train ahead. The Cherokee Cessna, taxi hotel Juliet.
The cool plane. It's like a war plane.
The one right here?
This one over here, this blue one.
Oh, yeah, that's a military trainer. Blanking on the name of that one. I don't want to say it's a T6, but...
Hotel Juliet, the executive cross 5 hotel with
Vietnam era or World War II era.
Yes, let's go ahead and do a lot. Should
Pretty cool. So there's usually cleanup stuff that I do taxiing back. I think I do there's like a flow that you taught me. I start with the lights, that's right. I did that already, carpet. It's just cleaning up the airplane. I guess I already did all this stuff, right?
Yeah, you did it.
And then
lean the mixture, flaps up.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe trim, that's a checklist item, but
Right.
but as long as you run the before takeoff check before you go, it'll call out the trim again, so you won't miss it. But
Gotcha. I'm really glad I got to get up today.
yeah,
I felt really productive.
good, I'm glad.
I officially have one decent landing under my belt. That feels good.
That was the highlight of the day. That was good. And you haven't done this much, so you're actually doing, for your approaches and everything, you're doing very good considering. Yeah, considering this is your real first full traffic pattern lesson.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just getting used to what feels right, what feels high and low. I think it'll come with time.
Yeah, it's knowing where to look and sort of anticipating what the plane does. You pull the power out like we talked about. You pull the power out, the nose wants to drop, so you have to anticipate it and pull back at the same time. Or you're doing a go around, you push the power in, you got to push the elevator down.
So I was on the first driveway, right?
Yeah, first turn.
Oh,
He also is the first turn, but he goes further down. Or she.
finding that's the thing I struggle with the most is remembering where to park when I come back. It's like the last thing on my mind.
Yeah. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the chocks and make a special shape with them. But since I've been instructing full time for the last almost 9 months or something, I have every plane memorized.
Nice.
Yeah, there's 4 total last ones to land there. Just go ahead and do it now.
I made a T with mine. That's definitely ours.
125.
So this guy might be coming.
Oh yeah.
Should I go past?
Let's just shut down. We'll be quick.
Right here, Juliet.
And right here is good. Stop.
Get it, 5-4.
All right. So
Avionics.
keys. No,
Avionics.